Our government is now officially shut down because we don't have funding to pay the federal workers. Trump really is running the country like it's one of his businesses. He said he would. Just to give you some perspective, the government being shut down is even worse than when it's up and running. Republicans would like you to believe that Democrats shut the government down, but the bill they wanted the Democrats to sign would knock out about 15 million Americans from health.
I was angry at the time because I was here in New York.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? This guy's
Right around.
It's right there. We should go. That wasn't a stand-up comedy show. It was supposed to be a political rally, something.
That joke delivered in that room, as you said, it seems like it's part of the politics of that room.
Yes.
Whether or not it comes
That's
from a
it.
politics.
People doesn't understand that it's a joke.
Mhm.
People who gonna agree with that joke and gonna say, yeah, it's Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? That's the part, like, is crazy.
Jimmy Kimmel and Bad Bunny just turned political craziness into something like a funny art show. When a late-night comedian and a reggaeton superstar join forces to make fun of the most attention-loving president in modern history, the result is a huge blow to Trump's ego. This wasn't just a small roast. It was a big show full of jokes, rhythm, and smart teasing. Together, they broke down the idea that Trump is a genius, laughed at the imaginary empire he built, and made his loyal fans feel like they were at a comedy event instead of a serious campaign rally.
I mean, that son of a bitch, you know, it's really unbelievable.
Mr. Son of a bitch.
I mean,
Mr. Son of a bitch.
his loyal. Yeah, see, no, I never imagined that we'd ever have a president like this, and I hope we don't ever have another president like this again. I mean, I never even imagined there would ever be a situation in which the president of our country was celebrating hundreds of American.
Teacher.
I'm so sorry. I want to apologize with you because I think this is not like you. This is more like the.
If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Jimmy Kimmel starts the fun in his own special way. He turns Trump's latest press stunt into a stand-up comedy act. He doesn't even have to lie. Trump gives him all the material himself. 1 minute Trump is bragging about creating jobs, and the next, he's firing half his team because someone reminded him that Wi-Fi doesn't count as infrastructure. Kimmel treats Trump's time in office like a TV sitcom that never got canceled because the writers kept adding crazy twists nobody wanted.
He says he would carry out a deportation operation to remove more than 11 million people from the country. He says he would use the military to build migrant detention camps. He would let red states monitor women's pregnancies and prosecute those who violate abortion bans. He would, at his personal discretion, withhold funds appropriated by Congress. He would fire any U.S. attorney who wouldn't.
Then comes Bad Bunny, the worldwide superstar who turns not caring about politics into a poetic form of payback. He doesn't need a fancy suit, a teleprompter, or a MAGA hat. All he needs is rhythm and honest words. He sees Trump's world as a messy song that's completely offbeat, so bad that even auto-tune can't fix it. When Bad Bunny joins in, Trump's speeches sound like silly rejected lyrics from a funny song. Every word, every stunt, every desperate attempt to stay in the spotlight becomes another line in a big, ridiculous anthem.
Anyway, you might not know me, but I'm doing the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm very happy. I'm very happy, and I think everybody's happy about it. Even Fox News. But it's my favorite musician. Station is that president.
Together, Kimmel and Bad Bunny become the perfect team. One brings reality with sharp humor, and the other brings rhythm to the madness. Trump's whole image, the hotels, the hats, the fake rewriting of history, looks small when the world's biggest comedian and one of the most popular music artists treat it like a bad performance. The cheers aren't for Trump. There for exposing his never-ending self-promotion that he tries to pass off as leadership.
Prosecute. He's weighing pardons for everyone who attacked the Capitol January 6th. He said he might not come to the aid of an ally in Europe or Asia if he felt that country wasn't paying enough. He would gut the civil service. He would close the White House Pandemic Preparedness Office and staff his administration only with those who believed the election was stolen from him. And when they asked about dictatorship, he said, I think a lot of people like it. And he's on the cover of Time magazine. He should be on the cover.
Kimmel doesn't just joke around. He carefully takes Trump's behavior apart. He shows Trump as a man stuck in a never-ending press conference, hungry for applause, avoiding responsibility, and pretending reality doesn't matter. Every joke feels like a public announcement hidden in comedy. He takes Trump's speeches, policies, and angry outbursts and arranges them into a tragic comedy that makes Shakespeare's fools look like geniuses.
Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke. Now he's openly rooting for NBC to fire Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers and the hundreds of Americans who work for their shows who don't make millions of dollars. And I hope that if that happens, or if there's even any hint of that happening, you will be 10 times.
Kimmel and Bad Bunny take those jokes and give them rhythm. They turn Trump's mixed-up statements into catchy choruses that sting more than any news headline. When they perform, it's not about political parties. It's about common sense. Trump's immigration, climate, and equality policies become verses in a global remix of resistance. Their message is clear. The world doesn't move to the beat of lies. And if Trump insists on leading the rhythm, everyone else has the right to laugh him off the stage. Their teamwork feels poetic. Two artists from different worlds joining to roast the man who turned politics into a reality show, but forgot that every show gets canceled one day. Kimmel's jokes expose Trump's hypocrisy. Bad Bunny's music makes it louder. The result is such a strong cultural takedown that even Trump's PR team can't spin it as a win. Kimmel mocks Trump's obsession with crowd sizes like it's an old joke that never ends. Trump could hold a press event in an empty room and still claim it broke records. Bad Bunny adds to the fun by pointing out how Trump loves numbers but hates real facts. Together, they show the sad comedy of a man who mistakes clapping for approval and fame for respect.
Which meant it was time for our Commander-in-Cheeseburger to weigh in on one of the most pressing issues our military faces today, unattractive battleships.
You know, in the Second World War, they were freighters at different times. We were doing a ship a day. And now we don't do ships. And I'm not a fan of some of the ships you do. I'm a very aesthetic person. I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say, oh, it's stealth. I say, that's an ugly ship. It's not necessary in order to say you're stealth.
Is he planning to have sex with these?
When Kimmel talks about Trump's way of governing, it sounds less like leadership and more like a bad open mic comedy night. Trump rules by instinct, tweets without thinking, and handles crises like someone trying to build IKEA furniture without instructions or glasses. Every new scandal feels like a replay of the same bad episode, but with higher stakes and a louder crowd. Bad Bunny adds his style to that chaos. His stage presence shows the world's tiredness with Trump's drama. He doesn't yell or debate. He performs truth using satire. His rebellion isn't angry, it's stylish. When he talks about Trump's climate and immigration failures, he uses rhythm instead of speeches. His art makes fun of Trump's arrogance, and Trump, who loves attention, always reacts. Every late-night joke, every viral lyric makes him blow up again. He's the only president who treats Twitter trends like national emergencies. But Kimmel and Bad Bunny know the secret. Jokes are the one thing Trump can't control. The more he shouts, the more he proves their point. They're not lying about him. They're holding up a mirror he hates to look into.
Fair. Hegseth said, we're getting rid of DEI in the military. We're getting rid of dudes in dresses. He said there will be no more beardos, which is what weird people call men with beards. And just as it said on Pete's Tinder profile, no fatties allowed.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations or really any formation and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad. It's not who we are.
Right. Trump was there.
Kimmel points out the contradictions in Trump's image. He's a deal maker who keeps losing court cases, a patriot who gets his campaign stuff made overseas, a tough guy who folds quickly when criticized. Every punchline hits because it's true. Bad Bunny shows the opposite of Trump's world. He's global, inclusive, and real. His art says that power doesn't equal respect. Watching him laugh at Trump's obsession with image feels like poetic justice. Trump cares about branding. Bad Bunny cares about impact. One spreads division, the other spreads connection. That difference is brighter than any headline. Their roast isn't just personal. It's about showing how Trump runs politics like a show. Kimmel turns that show into pure satire, describing a presidency that promised greatness but delivered punchlines.
I don't know if you saw this, but he made a major announcement. I am ordering my administration to declassify and release all government records related to Amelia Earhart, her final chip and everything else about her. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We had no attention to that matter. Unless her final flight was to Epstein's Island, no one cared.
Bad Bunny turns his message into art, mixing culture with politics. Kimmel explains Trump's media tricks, his love for headlines, his obsession with outrage, and his addiction to attention. Trump seems to think chaos gives him power. But Kimmel knows noise doesn't mean strength. It means insecurity. When you remove the drama, all that's left is a president chasing applause in an empty theater. Bad Bunny takes that same idea and applies it to the whole world. He sees Trump's politics as an old, outdated beat that can't keep up with today's rhythm. The world is changing faster than his slogans. No wall, ban, or loud talk can stop it. Bad Bunny's message hits deep because it's not about parties. It's about moving forward. Trump wants to go back in time. The world is already dancing into the future. Kimmel uses irony to highlight Trump's lies. The man who promises unity but causes division, who says he defends democracy but attacks anyone who questions him, and who runs businesses that end in bankruptcies and investigations. Kimmel turns this into a comedy class, showing how to expose hypocrisy through jokes.
Never performing in the U.S. again. I'm scared that ICE might raid the venue outside my show, and honestly, I can't risk the safety of my fans like that. Mainland America just doesn't feel necessary to me anymore.
Kimmel's energy connects with everyone. Even if his fans don't understand all the politics, they understand performance. And they can see through Trump's act. His charm exposes the emptiness behind Trump's bragging. When Bad Bunny mocks Trump's rallies, it's not political, it's human. He reminds people that power without kindness is just noise without rhythm. Together, they do what few can. Turn the world's frustration into shared laughter. Trump's presidency becomes the punchline to a joke the world's been waiting to finish. Kimmel sharpens his jokes. Bad Bunny softens them with music, so the truth hits even harder. Kimmel breaks down Trump's fake photo ops, empty speeches, and his attempts to rewrite history. He doesn't need to exaggerate. The truth is funny enough. Bad Bunny adds defiance, showing that Trump's politics are like an old song no one wants to hear. His fans have moved on. They want equality, progress, and realness. Trump's worldview is now just an outdated track everyone skips.
Donald Trump actually said our new military will bring back new focus on fitness. I love the idea that Trump is lecturing these guys on fitness. I mean, if that isn't the fondue pot calling the kettle fat, I don't know what is. Listen up, generals. I want to make something very clear. The Pillsbury Dope president wants you to do Pilates.
Kimmel continues his roast like a pro who knows that comedy can be stronger than anger. He doesn't yell or preach. He uses jokes to break down Trump's empire of image, ego, and exaggeration. It doesn't fall because of scandal. It falls because jokes reveal how empty it always was. Bad Bunny ends it with rhythm that feels like rebellion. Each beat reminds the world that art can speak truth louder than politics. His message is simple. The world is too connected to be ruled by lies, too smart to be fooled by noise, and too tired to act like chaos is charm. When they finish, what's left isn't just Trump's broken myth. It's proof that jokes and rhythm can change everything. Trump built a stage, but the audience changed the channel. Their laughter turns into a cultural anthem, showing that the time for pretending is over. What people once tolerated, they now treat like a meme. Kimmel's jokes turn Trump's loudness into background noise. He proves that fake power falls apart when people stop listening and start laughing.
Hegseth announced a new policy that requires journalists with Pentagon press credentials to sign a pledge promising not to report information that hasn't been explicitly authorized for release. That includes unclassified information. They want to pick and choose what the news is. I know that's not as interesting as muzzling a comedian, but it's so important to have free press, and it is nuts that we aren't.
Bad Bunny turns that feeling into a movement through music. He doesn't scream. His voice is smooth and strong. He turns Trump's drama into a beat people can dance through, mocking the idea that fear rules culture. The crowd dances not because they're told to, but because they feel free. Kimmel's jokes cut through Trump's tough guy image. The man who once called himself a savior is now just the main character in a failed show. Every brag becomes a joke. Every broken promise becomes a punchline. It's no longer politics, it's a bad performance. Kimmel and Bad Bunny reveal the emptiness of power that relies on acting. Bad Bunny's final rhythm paints Trump as yesterday's beat, loud, predictable, and out of touch. People don't chant slogans anymore, they chant lyrics. They don't follow orders, they follow music. Together, they show that laughter can rewrite history faster than propaganda can. The laughter doesn't hurt the country, it heals it. It reminds everyone that power without humility never lasts. Their roast isn't cruel, it's clear. It's the sound of truth finally louder than lies, echoing around a world that refuses to forget.